Hello, Cosmic Witches, and welcome back to the Divine Gossip Girls podcast. I'm excited to be bringing you an episode this week from the Magnetizing Mindset Podcast, my personal podcast. As you guys know, throughout June, Sophie, Maggie, and I have been sharing archived podcasts from our own personal podcast, just as we've been taking the month to chill and integrate into this new season of our lives, which I'm super excited to be sharing this episode with you guys today. We've kind of been going through that theme of receiving, being open to the new, manifesting new. So the episode I'm bringing you guys today is a nice, empowering pep talk for you when you're entering into the new season. We're going to be chatting how to take your power back, replace the old with something more aligned, and how to manifest from this new frequency that you're in when you recognize that I'm not who I was a month ago, 2 months ago, a year ago. I am at this highest vibration that I've ever been at. Even if I don't feel like it, the truth is I am, because I'm this far in my journey. And that means I'm further along than I was a year ago. So I would love to kind of ask the girls here as I have them recording this intro, what is something you have been, a pep talk you've been having with yourself to empower yourself in this season of your life? What is something you have been doing to raise your vibration and be in that receiving mode versus listening to the ego and then shutting yourself off? So would love to hear your empowering pep talks recently.
One that I have been doing is I've just been like pushing myself. This is kind of simple, but like pushing myself to leave the house, just being like, all right, you're in stagnant energy. This is not, you don't need like numbing and comfort in that way right now. You need to like get out, get some fresh air and like raise your vibration. You need to like get into yourself, come back to yourself. And then the second one that I've been just repeating, I mean, it doesn't always work, but I'm getting there. It's getting better of just like other people's energy can't touch me. Other people's energy can't affect me. Other people's energy does not interact with mine. For when I feel other people's like energy seeping into my little energetic zone and pulling me down, I'm like, all right, I'll repeat that to myself. And I'm like, now get outside, just get in the energy of nature, get into the energy of yourself and leave that the rest of it behind, because other people's energy is not yours to carry.
I love those. And before I say mine, what I kind of want to like reflect back on like what Maggie said as well, is like, you notice that our pep talks aren't like harsh like attacks at ourselves, which is sometimes like how we've always been taught to like fight against yourself or like be like angry at yourself or be really forceful with yourself. But it's like, how can you give yourself a loving, compassionate, but also kind of like, you know, like that loving push to yourself? Because the two that came through for me is that, especially because I work from home, I have my own business, and you can get a bit lazy, you know, you can end up like not like doing your makeup or not like getting properly ready, and that kind of makes me kind of feel a little lazy, and I'm not as productive because I'm kind of like in that more comfortable like state, and I can kind of I've been struggling to get up in the morning. I think that's just because of like the kind of darker mornings. But what I've been doing is actually like just getting up and making my bed, like just make your bed, open your windows and spray have my little Febreze that I smell like, and it brightens and freshens up my room, and then just jump in the shower, just go in the shower and like get ready, put a little bit of makeup on, and you will instantly feel so much better and so much more like ready to actually step into the day, instead of like just not putting makeup on. I mean, I don't have makeup on today, but Mondays are my no makeup day, but and having those set days for me as well has actually been really good. And the second thing is like, because I can have a loud ego, you guys all probably know this by this point. I am a Leo with a big ego, but whenever that ego comes up and whenever the fear may come up, and it can be quite a lot, especially with the fear of like the path that I'm on and the life that I want to live, it's just that coming back to like, this is where you're meant to be, like this is the path that you're meant to be, like even if the fear is loud, the ego is loud, like you are meant to be on this path, like you know that deep within you. And I think that's something that I always like come back to, like you're safe on this path, like you're like divinely intuitively protected on this path, because it can get really like uncertain and unsafe at times for me. And I think coming back to that knowing of like you are on the right path, so feel like just keep going.
I love all of those. Those are so beautiful. Thank you guys for sharing. And know that in this episode, as always, I feel like it's my Scorpio moon or my Aries Venus that comes through, and it's like, it's that hardcore love. I'm like, you got this. Not push through, but like sometimes you just need that little fire up the ass to get you going. And I like to bring the intensity. And I feel like sometimes we need that with the energy of summer, right? We're in that more like sun time, more of the masculine time at least in the Western hemisphere or the Northern hemisphere. So this episode will be everything that you need to feel that motivation, to feel that power. Let Coach Karlie help you out if you've been feeling a little in a slump or anything like that, reminding you that you are powerful, you're badass, and your ego and your mind is not spitting you facts. It's just spitting you what you've been conditioned to believe. So before we dive into this episode, I am quickly just cutting in to share with you guys that we have our first ever giveaway happening on the Divine Gossip Girls podcast up until July 7th. If you leave a review on our podcast, as well as share the podcast with a friend, family member, someone who may love these chats, then you will be entered into a giveaway to earn a free spot into Maggie, Sophie, and I's signature 21-day chakra elevating program called Aura Elevation. Now we're giving away 3 spots, so there will be 3 winners to this giveaway. The Aura Elevation 21-day chakra reset challenge, little mini ritual challenge will be taking off on August 5th, right around the Lionsgate portal. Is going to be a really, really powerful 21 days. And this is for those interested in working to elevate their vibration, working root to crown with their chakras, understanding them more, understanding practices to help you root them, ground them, and balance them once again. So if you're interested in entering into this giveaway, all you have to do is send a screenshot of your review. So screenshot wherever your review is, if it's on iTunes or Spotify, or if you've already left a review on Spotify, leave one then on iTunes. If you've only left one on iTunes, then leave one on Spotify. Whatever you want to do. Or if you've already, done reviews on both, then you can send us just a screenshot of one, DM Maggie, Sophie, or I on Instagram that picture, as well as just confirming that you've sent the link of our podcast to someone that you love or adore. And then you will be entered into the giveaway. We'll be picking the giveaway winners on July 7th and DMing you via Instagram directly, either Maggie, Sophie, and I. And then you'll have a free spot in our 21-day Aura Elevating Challenge. This will be our 4th round. It's going to be super, super powerful. So you're going to want to get yourself inside. We do have limited spots. So yeah, July 7th is the final day of this giveaway. Once again, just send that picture of your review to one of us on Instagram, as well as just letting us know that you've sent the link to our podcast to someone you love, and then you'll be entered in. So we hope that you join this giveaway, and happy giveaway season. Happy summer. And without further ado, let's dive on into this empowering pep talk, this empowering episode.
Hey, Cosmic Witches. Divine Gossip Girls here, your one and only source into the spiritual happenings of the cosmos.
Ever wonder what this month's energy will have in store for you? What the planets and stars are even up to? Or if the universe can just help you catch a break already?
Well, lucky you, because we have all the spiritual secrets to tell. Get ready to sip on your weekly dose of divine tea. All right, my love. So I decided to record this episode as many of us are currently moving through a change of seasons. Now, both physically and in nature, we are experiencing a change of seasons. In the Northern Hemisphere, I cannot speak, we are moving from summer to fall time, where it's a time for us to kind of hibernate and go within. And in other parts of the world, the seasons are also changing. So we are not detached from nature. We are part of nature, although times we forget that. And because of that, we experience changes just like nature changes. It ebbs and flows. It has different seasons and periods of growth, hibernation, the leaves changing colors, falling off, death and rebirth. It's a part of nature. And as we are part of nature, we experience it as well. But not only in nature, are we experiencing a change of seasons? But on a collective energetic level, we are also experiencing a change of seasons as well. People are awakening more on the spiritual level. We are having awakenings of things that are no longer serving us, creating space for new things to emerge and arise. And we are letting go of things, and we are receiving new insights and downloads and just connecting more to our spiritual essence. And with the change of seasons, with the change of things, there can be a lot of uncertainty within that. There can be a lot of unknowns. And because of that, we sometimes experience parts of ourselves from the past try to creep on in and root down as a sense of safety, as a sense of protection, as a sense of this is something try to hold on to me for safety. But the truth is, those things that may emerge during the change of seasons from the past are actually no longer aligned with us, and they're no longer aligned with the vibration that we are at. They're simply just trying to come on in and root down because it's something that we know. It's something familiar. And I really felt called to record this podcast to remind you that you can take your power back, that you do not have to allow these things from the past to root on in this season, right? You get to be here now. You get to arrive here and create new roots, new mindsets and habits and patterns and belief systems that support you in this season of your life. You do not just have to fall back on the mindsets of the past, the relationships of the past, the habits of the past because they feel safe. No, you get to embrace the free fall, embrace the fact that there is open space for you to create and to become someone else in this new season, and allow it to be a bit scary and challenging, and let the ego and the mind know that, hey, I know it is a bit freaky because we don't know what comes next. We do not know what comes next, but we get to create what comes next based off of what feels good, reminding ourselves of that big vision, and really leaning into the practices that can ground us and bring us inner peace, even when we are in the free fall of the unknown, right? You haven't been here before. You can't expect yourself to know it all right now. And I think that's the biggest thing that I have realized over the past few weeks as I'm really awakening to this change of seasons, the fact that I have completely shifted from the person that I was a year, 2 years ago. It's almost like I look at past pictures of myself and it's like I know her, but I am not her anymore. And I appreciate everything that she did and everything that she moved through, because really all of it has brought me to where I am today. But I just no longer resonate with her. It's a past version of me that I no longer am. And there's certain habits, mindsets, routines that are trying to trickle back from that version of me, but I'm no longer her. She's from the past. And the reason why those things from that version of me are trying to trickle on in is because for a while they provided me with protection. They provided me with safety. They provided me with comfort in a time where I needed those things. I needed some sort of, coping mechanism or something that at the time may have served me, but right now where I'm at, it no longer serves me. And it's kind of like I had to remind myself, I had to bring in my little wake up call of being like, these things popping up, bubbling up, do not mean anything personally about me or the lack of work that I have done or a lack of something within me. It simply means that I am in a time of transition and change and free fall, and they're trying to sneak on in to provide me comfort, to root me down again. But guess what? Even though they're trying to root me down and provide me comfort, they are not actually what's going to root me down and provide me comfort in this stage. It's just an illusion, right? These things from the past, it's just an delusional idea that they're going to provide me comfort. It may be momentary, it may be short because it provides you with comfort of something that a past version of you used to do, but it's not going to be long term, right? We have our long term things that can root us and provide us comfort that are sustainable and that are supportive of us. We're going to dive into some things that you can really do to start to root yourself down and create strong foundations that support your big vision in this season of your being. But I just want to remind you over and over again that if you have been experiencing thoughts, feelings, emotions, habits from the past trickle on in, It does not mean you have done something wrong. It does not mean you are broken. It does not mean you have not done enough work. It simply means you are in the free fall. You are in a new season and you are awakening to it. Your energy, your mind, and your body are all lining up. And for once, your mind is saying, what the fuck? This energy is next level. They have officially risen to the next level. And I'm scared. I'm scared because I don't know what's on that next level. I do not know what happens if you rise up. I do not know what happens when you embrace the fact that you have let go of all these things. The mindsets, the people, the habits, the past versions of yourself that no longer align. What comes next? I don't know. And the mind wanting to protect us, that monkey mind of ours that's like, oh, like, let me fight or flight if we don't know what's happening. Like, let's get into survival mode. It's just the mind doing its job. So it's really powerful right now, especially during these times of transitions, to set up some strong ass mental foundations, which we will dive into. But I want you to begin to shift your perspective on a change of seasons from being something extremely scary to it actually being a very exciting time. Because although we don't know what comes next, we don't necessarily know what the universe is going to hand us or what gets to come to us on this next level or how good it gets to be yet. Even though we don't know, we could see it as something exciting, right? Like, it's kind of like a surprise birthday party. Like, even if you don't love surprises, let's just pretend that you do for this scenario and see you arriving to this place where you don't know anything that's going to happen. And the beauty of it is it's all going to be personally curated to you and your desires and to what you want. Like, pretend that it's like the planner of this surprise birthday is like your closest friend and they know everything about you. They know the colors you like, the cake you like, the presents you like, the people that provide you with love, and all of it gets to be there if you just trust and you stop trying to control it all, right? Because if you ruin it for yourself, like, that would suck, right? Like, some people may not love surprises, but you can still love a flow of love coming towards you in divine, miraculous ways. And that's exactly what it's like to step into a new season. It's like someone's throwing you a surprise birthday party. And although it's kind of like nerve-wracking, I think that's oftentimes why people don't love surprises, is because it is nerve-wracking. You don't know what's going to happen. You have no clue, but it gets to be a free fall. You get to take the backpack off, this huge weight of trying to plan it all out and figure it all out, and just have someone else do it for you. That's what it's like walking into this change of seasons. Yeah, it can be a little nerve-wracking. You don't know what's going to happen at that surprise birthday party. You don't even know what's about to happen. But the second that it begins to happen, you can just let go. You can be surprised. You can let the miracles rush on in, the gifts, the pillow, there's not the pillows, the balloons, the cake, the decor, all of it to fit you so perfectly. But the first thing you have to do is you have to allow yourself to receive, and to receive this season in this level of being with arms wide open. You have to surrender. You have to surrender your plan. You have to say, I don't know what happens next. I don't know how good it's going to get to be, but universe, source, spirit, I allow you to guide me. I allow you to show me the way. I allow you to show me how good it gets to be. And there's like some quote, it's like, and when you're like struggling with faith, surrender further. And I feel like that has been the name of the game for me the past month, even 2 months, where I really thought I knew it all. I thought I knew what I was going to want to do once I came back home from travels, and I had planned out in advance where I was going to go next, and I was going to do this in my business, and I was going to do this for another job and all of this. And then one day I just realized that I was putting so much pressure to have everything figured out and to go because I was so scared that I didn't know, and that I was going to be stuck in one place if I didn't have it all planned out to a T and knew where I was going next. But everything within me was like, you have to surrender. You don't know. You don't know what's best. You've never been here before. And instead of trying to plan it all out perfectly, let it go, surrender it up to the universe, say, this actually doesn't feel super aligned anymore. This vision, these ideas that I have, I'm realizing I planned them all out in fear from a place of ego and not knowing what comes next. I was scared. And so last time I went to visit my friends in Minneapolis, I'm not sure if I shared this on a podcast yet, but basically I went to a cemetery and I just, cemeteries can be so healing. Obviously not all of them are like, ideal, but there's some cemeteries that are extremely beautiful and very, very peaceful, like have the most angelic energy. And there's this one that I went to and I just surrendered to the universe. I said, I am so scared. I do not know what comes next. I don't know, but I'm going to open myself up to receiving whatever that is. I let go of my plans. I let go of needing to have it all figured out. And I invite in space for you to show me and to guide me and to lead me. And in doing that, I felt like a huge weight just got lifted off my chest and that I was being guided and supported. And I started to receive downloads, little bits of insight and wisdom of what my next step is. Because at the end of the day, we can't always know how the whole staircase unfolds. In fact, we shouldn't know, right? Otherwise, like a surprise birthday party, it would be ruined. And that would suck. Like we want things to unfold in the most divine ways, so it isn't too much for us to try to swallow at once. That it would be so overwhelming if you knew what the rest of your life would look like. In fact, you can't know what it's going to look like because you create your life based off of what you decide and what feels good. And so I want you to know, as you're entering into this new season, you don't need to know it all. You can surrender it up, and it can be okay to be in a state of fear. And to be in a state of not knowing what comes next, not knowing what happens at this new level, this new vibration that you have finally arrived at, that your mind is finally recognizing that you are at. And that is why so much stuff of the past is trying to creep on in. And you have parts of yourself that maybe used to be really controlling that are trying to creep on in, or anxiety, or even feelings of maybe sadness, or who knows, just things that a past version of you used to be in. It's just trying to support you again, to provide you with comfort. But you get to be in a free fall right now. And I'm going to share with you some things that can really support you as you are in a free fall, for you to not allow the things from the past to kind of creep on in and root down, and instead for you to start to create your own supportive, nourishing roots in this season of your life, and really to remember that big vision and to create what you want to see in this season of your life. Right? You get to be here now. You get to be here and you get to create from this next level version of you. How incredible is that? Like, you get to create from a version of you that is way more healed and elevated and in love with themselves and confident than you have ever been. You get to create life from this place now. And that is fucking incredible. Like, I cannot wait to see what you guys do now that you have arrived here. And it still is life. So of course there's ebbs and flows. There's shadow periods and light periods, shadow phases where we have to go within to do some work to call in what it is that we desire. And then light phases where it's a result of the work that we start to notice the things that we have wanted to manifest come into fruition. And so allow this time to be a time of setting up strong foundations for yourself to call in what you desire as you work with this new vibration. You get to call things in that are miracles because you are at this vibration. So let's go ahead and dive into some ways that you can set up some strong mental foundations as you arrive in this new season, in this new level of being. So the first thing that I want to talk about is mental foundations. So creating some sort of habit or routine that supports your mind and finding more peace of mind during a chaotic transition, right? Because like I mentioned, the mind, the ego, it's just trying to keep you safe. And so if you've been noticing things from the past creeping up, it is most likely trying to just keep you safe. So setting up strong mental foundations can look like creating a time for yourself within your day to do a practice that allows you to focus the mind, to bring some peace to mind and create some clarity within. Now, for me, that is meditation. I love meditation. Meditation coupled with journaling seems to be really supportive. For me, I love to do yoga to clear my mind. So there's a few things that I do throughout my day at different time periods that really support me. But I would encourage you to play around with a couple different practices and see what practices feel really good in calming the mind, bringing peace to the mind, and strengthening your ability to be mindful. So to be aware of when those things from the past are creeping up so that you can squash them, so that you can kind of talk back and be like, no, honey, I'm taking my power back. Like you do not live here anymore. You are not mine to carry anymore. I let you go. So setting up strong mental foundations, once again, try out some meditation, whatever it is, try it out for a month. See how it goes and then start to play around with it, because you don't want to bop around too much without giving something a full go. Like give it your full energy, your full commitment. See how it is, see how it supports your being, right? Life is a beautiful, learning fields. We are students to life. So allow yourself to experiment, try different things on, different practices on. You can even do things like EFT tapping is incredible for integrating new beliefs into your mind. So I love to combine EFT with meditation. Like I'll meditate, but then also depending on kind of where my mind is at, if I'm noticing, I'm in meditation, a lot of thoughts are coming up around body image, or a lot of thoughts are coming up about feeling resistance to allowing love into my life, or just feeling like really closed off or something like that. Then I'll go ahead and take what I learned during my meditation practice and do an EFT around integrating like more compassion towards my body, or integrating beliefs around I am worthy of love and opening up my heart center to love. So if you do integrate a mindful practice, it's really cool because you begin to observe the mind, and from there you can take action from a point of understanding. What is it that's arising? What are my needs? What is it that I haven't been paying attention to or neglecting? And from there, take action. So set up some strong mental foundations to really kick out those old patterns so that they can't gain roots in this new season of your being. And I can tell you that if you're over here and you're freaking out like, oh my God, are they gaining roots already? Like, honey, do not worry. Your vibration has elevated far too high for these past things to ever root back down into your being. It's just a matter of how loud things will need to be for you to make the changes. Because of course they can come back, they can sneak on in, hang around for a while, but I promise you will know that something is out of balance and you will take action, because it just won't feel good. It will get to the point where it just does not feel good. It feels terrible, that you will make the changes. It's just, when are you going to listen and when are you going to start to make those changes? And the more that we start to connect with ourselves on a spiritual level, and we really get into that sensory aspect of ourselves, our feelings, our emotions and energy, we become more attuned to when things don't feel right. And that may even be why during the season of your life, these old patterns coming back in feel so shitty, because you are more awakened to energy and your sensory perception of things. So when things feel off, when things don't feel good anymore. And so it's loud for a reason. It's loud so that you recognize it and you make the changes right away, versus 2, 3, 4 months down the road. And it's a good sign if these things are coming up and you're pissed the fuck off by them, because it just means that you are aware that they no longer serve you and you have really awakened more spiritually, and you're more cognizant of your emotions, your feelings, your sensations, and it's just a sign that you have grown, you've elevated. So set up those strong mental foundations. And if you need more support with that, just DM me. I have a bunch of resources I would love to share with you. So that's number one. The number two, the second thing here, is to create a vision for this new season of your life, right? So you have things from the past creeping on in, and if you don't want them to root down, guess what? You are the main character of your life. You are the creator. You are the director. You get to decide what goes in place of those things. So if you have a lot of thoughts about a past ex, or a lot of thoughts about your body image, or a lot of thoughts about career or something, and it just doesn't feel good, you get to choose what you want to replace that energy with. If you don't want that to be your focus and you want your energy to flow in a new direction, what is it going to be? Is it going to be, instead of always focusing in on that past relationship, that you start to open up your heart? You start to do a tapping on your heart center and you say, I am open to receiving love. I'm opening to receiving good things that to manifest into my life. Like, what are you going to put in place of it? And I want you to get crystal clear on what this new season gets to look like for you. Create a Pinterest board on it. Go and create a Pinterest board all decked out with the energy that this new season brings for you. Is it you getting comfy and cozy, more self-love? Is it more self-compassion? Is it more inner peace? Is it opening up yourself to prosperity and abundance in any form? And what does it look like? Does it look like you going on coffee dates with your friends, you paying it forward to someone in front of you, you decorating your house with cozy, comfy candles, you having a beautiful breakfast and mindful morning to yourself? See that vision for yourself, get crystal clear on what it gets to look like, create the Pinterest board around it, and start to integrate it. Start to do it. Start now. After this episode, if you've been sitting around saying, oh God, that voice in my head has not been feeling good, right away, talk back to it. Say, honey, I see you. I know that you're here, but you actually don't get to root down into the season of my life. You are from a past version of myself, and I'm going to squash you right now. I am worthy. I am abundant. I am a magical fucking cosmic being that gets to create her reality, that gets to create their reality. And that's the truth of it. You're the main character. You're the only one that's going to be with you, other than, spirit guides and all of that, but throughout your life from birth to death. You are the director. You're on this stage of life and you get to create what you want to create. If something doesn't feel good, you get to change it. And sometimes it is easier said than done, because you have to go through the process of, changing those thought patterns. And it's not an overnight shift. It gets to be a journey. It's through the journey that we elevate and we grow more. Let it be a bit challenging. Let it be a bit scary. Let it be a bit uncomfortable. Let yourself have hard days. Let yourself cry. Let yourself be upset. It is part of the experience. But keep in mind that you are the director. Even during these seasons where things feel hard again, the old things come creeping back in. It's a bit scary. It's a bit uncomfortable. You don't know what comes next. You are the director. What doesn't feel good, you get to change. What you want to see, you get to create. So keep that in mind. And I want to see some Pinterest boards coming together. I want you to script it out. You can script out a day in your life. You get to decide what thoughts feel empowering right now, what habits feel soul nourishing, what things are you inspired to create or do, because all the things that are coming up right now, they're showing you the step that you're on right now. You don't need to know what comes next after this season. You don't need to know what comes next after this step, but lean into what feels good right now, knowing that it will unfold for the highest good, as it should, if you just lean into what feels good. And you allow yourself to set up some strong foundations. The rest gets to unfold for you. It's like the surprise birthday party. It gets to unfold for you. All you got to do is get in your cute outfit, make sure that you are surrounded by friends that you love, environments that nourish you, and then you get to let go. You get to let go. You get to be driven in the car to the magical place that maybe you thought would be the woods, but it ends up being this little fairy picnic, and you get to have your surprise party. I don't know why surprise party keeps coming up. Maybe there will be a celebration coming your way. Who knows? Maybe this is spirit saying celebrations are on the way. That would be fun. We would love that. We're open to it, spirit, if you want to bring us celebrations. But anyways, that is the main thing. Create a vision for this new season and come back to your big vision. Do you have a big vision? If not, be open to it. have a big vision for your life. Once again, it can change, it can flow, but do like a guided meditation. I've recommended this multiple times over, but Kundalini meditations are so powerful in allowing you to see a big vision for yourself that is guided by your highest self. Your highest self being this highest energy of you that gets to show you how good it gets to be, that gets to lead you and guide you. So try a Kundalini meditation. You can search them on YouTube. There are a few. There's one that I did a few years back and it was so powerful, and I have been trying night and day to find it and I haven't been able to, but I think that's just my sign that I need to create one myself, maybe. And I've been working a lot with like Kundalini, divine feminine energy of Kundalini. So maybe this is my sign. Let me know if you guys want to see that, because I would create that. Create the things you want to see. So anyways, find one on YouTube and sit down and just see a big vision for yourself. It doesn't have to make sense. You might not even be able to put all the puzzle pieces together, but allow yourself to hold a big vision. Do a meditation, see what comes through, write on it, journal on it. Allow your heart and your soul to guide you in this vision. Allow your highest self to show you a vision. Or if you can't see one, choose to create one for yourself. Choose to create a vision that is so empowering. You don't know when it's going to manifest. Maybe it's in 10, maybe it's in 20 years, maybe it's in 30 years. This vision is a guiding compass. It's not something that you need to plan out to the T. Like, oh, I don't, this is what I got to do first, and then this, then this. No, you have that big vision. And right now you are on a step, which is this season of your life, and trust that this step is going to slowly and gradually bring you there. And it either gets to be that big vision or something bigger, better, and more aligned. I always tell myself that with any vision that comes through, I'm like, yes, thank you. It's either this or something bigger, better, and more aligned. I always allow room and space for divine light and guidance to pour on in, because from my perspective, I know that I don't know everything. And that's okay. So create that big vision, remind yourself of it, script it out, come back to your vision board, enhance your vision board, make it more spicy, and see how it's all interconnected. That big vision you hold, it's going to come to fruition at some day, and some point, and maybe it feels way closer now than it did at one point. Right? Like maybe this vision is something that gets to manifest rather soon. Like I remember when I first did that Kundalini meditation a few years back, I felt like what I saw was so far out into the distance. I was like, holy shit, I don't know how that's going to happen, but I'm excited. And now when I think about that vision and I script it out, I'm like, this feels like it could be close. It is closer than ever before, because I have shifted higher and higher within the past few years. In my vibration, I have really started to shift into my highest self, to that version of me that I have seen in meditations, that I have met, that I have talked with. That version of me, I have became her more and more. And I know that will only continue to evolve and happen during this lifetime, because it's a journey of elevating. It's a journey of releasing and creating. But it's really cool to be able to look back and say like, oh, wow, I really have grown. So going off on a bit of a tangent here, but come back to that big vision, and over and over again, remind yourself that you are the director, you are the creator. And even on those hard days, hold yourself with compassion. Just because you are going through a harder day, a harder week, does not mean that is going to be the rest of your life. It isn't permanent. It is something that you are moving through, and it will pass, right? And sometimes people worry about, when it comes to manifestation of, oh my God, if I'm really thinking about this, like, is it going to manifest? Like, if I have these like harder days, like, will it manifest? No, it will not manifest if you don't make it mean something. If you attach yourself to having these harder days, that's when it starts to create a cycle. But allow yourself to have hard days, have hard feelings. Not every thought you have is going to be amazing. There's going to be days where the weather of your mind is louder. And that's why meditation can be really powerful, especially to do in the morning, is because it's like checking in for the weather of the day, right? Seeing, oh, today the weather is a bit more cloudy and rainy. And okay, cool. So we're going to move throughout our day knowing that it's a bit rainy, a bit cloudy, and I'll just be more mindful of it so that I don't make it mean something about myself. That's the truth of it, is you can experience hard days, hard emotions, and it does not mean that you're going to manifest more of it. It means that you are a human having an experience, but it's really through either denying yourself the right to feel those things that you actually end up clinging onto it, or starting to attach yourself to those things and say, oh, I have these bad thoughts, I have these bad feelings, I have these bad emotions. That means I am them. That's when sometimes they start to create a cycle and manifest more of it into your life. So allow yourself to have an experience and move through it. It doesn't have to mean something about you. It can just simply mean that you are a human having an experience. And if you need further support, lean into it. Lean into your friends, family, mentors, therapists, coaches. There's so many beautiful free resources out there. Or if you need further support to create strong roots, strong foundations during this season of your life, I am here. I adore you guys. I truly appreciate each and every one of you that listens in. If you could take the time after this episode to leave a review either on Spotify or iTunes, I would highly appreciate it. I feel like this is my little safe haven, but I would love to see the podcast begin to grow a bit more. Oh, there is a wasp. See it grow a bit more as we head into the new year, which is crazy to think we only have a few months left in 2023. So let's live it up. Let's live it up and set up those beautiful foundations. So I love you guys, and I will chat with you in my next episode. Bye.